Hey everybody, and welcome back to Midtown, USA. Today is day 8 of mid-spring, and we are going to be putting our sunflowers in the ground today. We've got a busy day of planting to go. Let's go ahead and open up our Great Plains cedar. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to basically put a headland on all the various sides of the field here, because it's going to help us make our turns. Given the fact that we've got traffic right here along this road, we want to not run afoul of traffic, so to speak. We have already put in, we've already seeded our canola field over there. You can see it's ground's got a slightly grayer, a lighter texture. So we've already put canola in down there. And we just topped off our animals yesterday, so we don't have to worry about them. Up to 114 sheep and 198 cows still. Our cows won't actually start reproducing until summertime, but our pigs are busy reproducing, as is our sheep. In fact, our sheep are reproducing a lot faster than I remembered they would be, at a rate of like 1.5 sheep per day. So by the end of spring, we might have ourselves about 125 sheep or so. 124 sheep probably by the end of spring. So pretty exciting. The more sheep, the more wool we can collect. It's already we've already got 3 full pallets of wool, if I'm remembering correctly, and are working on our 4th pallet. And we've only had basically it's about a pallet of wool every other day at this point. So if that holds true, then at the end of spring we're going to have ourselves about 7.5 pallets of wool. That is pretty impressive. That should turn us into a very good payday once we sell that stuff. Still waiting for our fuel light on our big bud to get there to get to low fuel. It's lost a couple hundred liters since we started. I think when we started we had about 1,000 liters in the tank. So we might get to that point by the time we're done planting. We still have this field 15 over there, and field 8 that's behind us to plant. So do we have anything else to put in the ground? 11, 8, and 15, and 16 still to put in the ground. And then of course we're going to replant 17, 14, 5, and 2. So we get those harvested. See, we got kind of a wet spring. Tomorrow it's going to be rainy, and then 3 straight days of rain, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So that's going to be also joyous fun, because that's right around the time that I'm going to want to start doing some grass work. And, well, you know, we can't really ted grass into hay when it's wet. Looks like we may really only have 3 days there, 2 days to do our early spring, well, late spring at that point, to do our spring grass work. I'm also going to look at we've we've got a fair number of hay bales still in storage, and I'm going to try to figure out how many hay bales we're going to need between now and when I expect to get the the grass work done. And we'll probably take the excess hay down to the compost master and drop it in there to generate a little bit of more income. A real reason to keep that keep those hay bales around when we're going to be making and producing fresh bales. It's like we missed a couple little spots when we were cultivating. It's a little oilseed radish. There's a little chopped straw that's managed to make it this long. Alright. Now that we have gotten that done, it'll be a lot easier for us to make our up and down passes. So what we want to do is make sure we get this lined up good and straight. Bring our GPS up. And that looks pretty good. Lock her in and turn her on. So I'm not expecting this this seeder to do the whole field without needing to be refilled. And when it comes to stocking the seeder, restocking the seeder, I've got a special little treat in store for you. So what we're going to do is kick this thing in high gear and do a little speed planting, and I'll be back when we need to refill it. Alright, well, I thought that this field was bigger than field 8, because field 8 used up almost all of the seed. Now, of course, we were putting in, what were we putting in there? We don't have anything in field 8 now, do we? We don't have anything in field 8. We put in field 7. Field 7. I thought field 11 was bigger than field 7. But we used up almost all the seed planting canola in field 7. So I figured we would go through seed a bit faster doing sunflowers, which is typically a bigger seed in this field. But we're done, almost done the big part of the field, and we're only down to 61%. So we're going to turn around here and get started up the long ways, and then we're going to run across to the farm and pick up our truck and run up to the shop and pick up something that we've ordered. I don't know if it's been rolled out or not, but we're going to go pick it up. We're going to call them up and make sure that it's ready to go. And that's what we're going to use to refill our cedar when we need to. Get this thing turned around here and get our hired helper working on the field here. Here comes our train. Get him running, and once we get up here kind of across from the farm, we'll go ahead and jump out and run across over there. Let's look at our forecast again. Everything is warming up quite nice. Looks like we're going to have highs in the upper 70s by the end of spring, which is pretty good. For the April time frame. So let's go ahead and hire up our worker. Jump on out and run down here and get our truck. So I'm really excited to show you guys this. I learned about this capability by watching a video where they did it kind of showed off the horse aggravation equipment, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they said that it worked with the in-game trucks. So you probably already know what I want to do here. So they said it worked with the in-game trucks, and I thought to myself, well, I wonder if, I was like, I doubt Giants modified the in-game trucks to work with, to have an attacher that worked with this this particular implement. So I started to wonder, I wonder if this particular implement works with anything that has a fifth wheel connection or not. Looks like we're hung up on the curb. So I started to wonder, maybe this thing works with anything that has a fifth wheel. So let's go in here and order up our equipment. Auger wagon, we want the seed tender. Right. So this thing, sweet as it is, will attach to the back of that. How awesome is that? That is way, way cool, if you ask me. So, I had to look up on another video on how the heck to attach this thing. I knew it attached, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to attach. But thankfully, I found a video online that helped me. Basically, you just pull up right next to it, so, and then you get the attached cedar. So we hit R, and kerchunk. There we go. Now it is attached. Now, what I did when I was testing this is I went and moved the fifth wheel, because I can move the fifth wheel on this truck. I moved it forward a little bit just to make it kind of line up a little bit better with the truck. Doesn't look like it's really hitting anything. Looks like it lined up pretty good, and I can hit O, and it doesn't the frame or anything, so we're just going to block it down there, and we'll just leave this little dolly frame here for now. You pretty much do the same to disconnect it. Pull up next to the dolly, and you basically hit Q to disconnect, and it will slide over onto the dolly. So what makes this thing so cool, if you haven't seen it before, is in the left we can hold 5,000 units of seed, and in the right we can hold 5,000 units of fertilizer. So that is what's so cool about this thing. And I used to have a trailer that had a compartment for seed and a compartment for fertilizer, and it worked pretty good, but it was a little cumbersome and a little difficult sometimes to get lined up and to work. This one should be far better. Let's go ahead and fill up that side. Now we're not going to need the solid fertilizer, so we'll just leave that side empty for now. And we will go ahead and come on around. Now if we go to our camera, we kind of have a rear camera would be rather useful when backing this up to a seed hopper, possibly. Pretty cool. So, for anyone that wants to know, this should connect to anything that has a fifth wheel connector. So give it a try on your favorite semi, and it should connect. The only question will be, is there enough room between the fifth wheel and the cab that the auger there doesn't smack into it and cause problems? But it should actually connect without any issues. Trying to just pull up here and wait on our cedar to come back around, and then we will fill her back up. Let me know what you think. Have you all used this this horse seed tender? And if you have, did you realize that you could connect it basically to any semi truck? You know, another cool detail is there's a ladder that's stored on the bottom of this, so you can kind of prop it up against the seed tender and climb up in there and maybe shovel out the seed that may be left in it. Really cool details on this. It's the gate that the two gates that open up in order to drop the seed into the conveyor belt. Yeah, that is pretty awesome that it will connect to this truck, and it should connect to anything with a fifth wheel, said. This truck does have the added coolness that you can put AR frame stuff on it. And again, that truck is Rockhound Mods POW Tribute K100. That can be found over at Rockhound Mods Facebook. What we'll do is we will make our turn here. Oh look, he's kind of crooked. Oh, he got crooked. Open up the door. And let's see if we can't get this thing filled up. Let's try this rear camera and see if that helps. This rear camera is really useful time to time. Look at that. Oh. That is so cool. See the door there is opened up, seeds flowing out. Yes, it's full. Let's fold up and the door folds up. So cool. That has to be one of my favorite things in the horse pack now. So I don't know why this guy is off like that. I guess when you hire a helper, they don't really. I guess they overlap a little bit. So that's why the GPS isn't really lining up anymore. Kind of at an angle here. Looks like. It looked like we were running straight rows up there on the other side of the field. I don't know why we would all of a sudden have gotten crooked. What we'll do is we will finish this on out. Like the whole area has been seeded. Gonna kind of square this up a little bit so we can finish up our GPS lines, and then it'll look decent. So now you can see why I was kind of so excited to get this field planted, and show you all how cool that seed tender was to tend up our seed. Of course, if we had a seeder that also took, or a planter that also took fertilizer, solid fertilizer, we could have taken care of both of those in one fill up. Yeah, I wish I knew about that thing when we were doing the UMRV planting. Man, that took forever, and we used those pallets, those totes of seed, which is all good and fine. but hauling around, 15 totes of seed on the back of a flatbed and filling up the seeder that way, that took a fair bit of time. Whereas this thing would have just been so quick. Oops. The wrong button. Looks like we got about one more pass here and then we will be done. Thank you guys for watching yet again. If you liked the video, please click the like button. If you are not a subscriber, please give that subscribe button a little tickle and see what happens. So as we do Let's Play videos on this map, Midtown, USA, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in addition, we typically do map videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And we are currently working through a second year on Churn Farms, which is our 24-day map. We were doing 24-day seasons on Churn Farm before we came over here and started Midtown. Then I took a little bit of break recording Midtown after I had a little bit of a library of videos saved up, and we went over to back to Churn, and we finished that map up. So we'll be wrapping up our second year. We played up through autumn. Those videos will air through the first part of March, and then we'll be done that series. We've already got plans for what map we're going to do next after both Churn Farm and Midtown. Again, we're going to play this map up through the end of autumn in year 2 again. So both maps are going to go through till the end of their second autumn season. We're not going to go through a second winter on either map. And there we go. So I need to figure out what are we going to put in field 8? No, canola, soybeans, corn, or sunflower. Well, we can't put corn or soybeans in until we hit 50 degrees. We talked about putting in corn here. We talked corn there. Did canola. I guess we could put sunflowers in over here. Let's figure that's what we'll do. So I'm going to go ahead and put sunflowers in this field, but I'm going to leave you all here with this, and that's how we're going to wrap up. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and until next time, happy farming.